My name's Jeff Bennett and I'm the director of the film.
And I'm Steve Newman, I'm the director of photography.
This opening sequence is here really to show you Erica's fantasy world, really, which is very different to the world that she lives in. This is how she would love to live. This is where she'd love to live and the people she'd want to be with, which is completely different to where she actually does live.
And we wanted to make it look very idyllic.
And super romantic.
It's a bit of a Blue Velvet kind of opening, isn't it? Not easy to shoot in Melbourne in midwinter with a lot of overcast sky and no sun.
There are very few perfect places to grow up in, where childhood is a magical and happy time, where a girl can truly blossom to her full potential in surroundings of beauty and tranquility. Baringa East was not one of
The
those
idea being to
places.
contrast that with the reality of her world, which was more like this. Chaos.
Now this was all shot in a school in a suburb called Sunshine in Melbourne. This sequence took all day to shoot. As you can see, there's lots of people, and we even had a crew of people who just, all they did was organise chaos.
And amazingly enough, when we wanted it to look flat, dull, boring and uninteresting, we had sunshine. So I remember, I think we shot half the sequence in the morning, so it was backlit, and then when we shot the other direction, we went round the other side and shot the other half backlit as well, because not knowing how we were going to cut it together exactly, it was more efficient to do it that way. And Barry's pyromania was lots of fun too. I think the challenge was not to burn the school down in the process.
Or the lead actress.
Yeah.
Trauma like a visit to the sick bay, a place where I was truly appreciated. You know, while I'm here,
Erica's heaven, the sick bay.
Discovered 2 new allergies over the weekend.
Which was actually a tiny little set.
Yeah, we ended up shooting this one in the studio, mainly because this tiny little set was at least bigger than the real sick bay in the school.
Allergies to bee stings, dust mites, clover, horsehair, wattle, pollen and clag glue. And we're adding?
Cinnamon and emulsify 471. Had a nasty incident with a Pop-Tart.
I think you can go now.
Yeah, one of the challenges of this film was actually casting the class. I think when we started, we had something like 60 to 70 kids auditioning, and we spent a day and a half sort of working out who we would cast, giving them a series of improvised tests to do, and we came up with this bunch of kids who were just fantastic, all of them.
I think the great thing about the class is that every kid has an identifiable personality. They're not just ciphers, they're all...
Yeah, they'd all develop little characters and little stories to tell in each scene.
2 in a psychiatric institution and 1...
No.
I can remember kids like that when I was at school.
And of course Jean Kitson was a fantastic bit of casting. She's one of Australia's great comedians.
or what I am capable of.
And a fantastically authoritative teacher.
She actually used to be a teacher.
It showed on set.
It does show, doesn't it?
Well, it showed on set. She was the only one, including the ADs, who could keep the class quiet.
She was the only one in control, really.
Eyebrow. Your name?
And the idea visually with this was to try and keep the classroom fairly cool looking. The whole classroom was lit from outside because we wanted to be able to move around inside the classroom as freely as possible and run, up to 2 cameras at once. So we wouldn't have had time to light from inside. Created challenges when we had rain though, because all the lights were out in the rain. But that happened a lot during the shoot.
Erica Gherkin.
Erica, is a very beautiful name. Did you know?
I think one of the other themes of this film was this thing about bullying and the misfit of the class. And this is a moment where Erica, who is the misfit of the class, finds that she's almost falling in love with her teacher.
She's finally found someone that doesn't call her the gherkin.
Miss Belmont made me feel so special.
This again is another tiny little set, as you can see, a little box.
It's the same old sick bay.
We originally auditioned Craig McLaughlin for the role of Lenny, but then realised he was far too young for that. And also he had enormous
I must.
comic talents. And
Miss Belmont, Jeff Kennard.
this is actually his audition scene for Kennard, which a lot of actors, of course, audition for, but
Why is
I
that?
think Craig was by far the funniest.
Barry Hollis.
Barry. He's a sweetheart. Thank goodness he was there because I'd run out of cigarettes.
Right.
But Craig and Jean seem to work beautifully as a team, and you could also start to see their characters' potential as
If you ask me,
possible lovers.
the real worry in 9C is Erica Yerkin.
Erica, why?
So I think when talking to Craig, I think I said to him that his character is always wanting to please people.
Erica,
Something about
what are you doing?
how he just wants to please everyone,
Training you wax. I have a special job for you.
especially Miss Belmont. This is an example of how the designer can paint a picture. That whole playground, it was all the mess there was created by our designer, Ralph.
The background's almost too pretty there. The trees and the...
And this is another improvised location. We had very bad weather while we were in Melbourne.
In fact, it
and
was hailing
It was hailing that
about
day.
5 minutes before we shot this.
And this is just a little street outside the studios. We were originally going to shoot this somewhere else.
My little sister Jetta had
With a nice piece of grass.
Yeah, and again, Ralph put the bashed up old cars there.
understanding. What I needed was a set of spurs.
But sometimes accidents do work for you.
Mini Yerkin.
Yeah, this scene creates a sense of place without... If you turned around and looked the other way, you wouldn't think you were in the same spot. That's a little cutaway shot we did in Sydney.
That it was a community. You were always
In fact, this entire scene was shot after the film, while we were in post-production. We shot this little bit in Sydney.
Just to give a flavour of the neighbourhood.
And you always felt safe in Baringa East.
This is Erica's home, and where the people that she lives with, her family, and
Miss Wallace.
what I think we're trying to do here is to show how she feels out of place here.
So much like your sister.
She wants to be somewhere else.
And no, you're not imagining.
She's embarrassed by everything, I think, isn't she?
Everything,
She's embarrassed by
yeah.
a neighbour, by a family.
And even her sister,
What did you do to your eyebrow? You
well, her sister treats her really badly. So really her only place of refuge actually is her Shakespeare and
It's certainly not her
poetry
room.
and
Her
her
little sister's
fantasy.
taken over her room, so she's got to go into Fantasyland to get anywhere that belongs to her.
Give me my Romeo. When he shall die, take him and cut him out into little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so bright that all the world be in love with night.
So this is a fantasy of being a great actress, which we shot at the Regent Theatre in Melbourne. And you'll notice there's no very wide shots because we didn't have enough extras to fill them.
Tracy Mann plays the mum, and there's, I think with the mum, Erica's mum, there's a very warm sort of understanding between the two of them.
Mum, he's a psycho.
And this is probably, in her family anyway, Erica's real connection is with her mum.
Busting a gut at the happy leprechaun.
Oh, don't worry, I'll need someone to yell at the servant.
Who I think understands Erica's frustration.
Irk, just remember, your family's who you are.
I hope not.
I think the film really is, about how your family are the most important people in your life. And I think at this age, a lot of teenagers feel uncomfortable and embarrassed about their own family.
Barry Hollis chased me.
Barry Hollis.
But of course, Erica's family is,
I do.
She's 8 years old.
I think we can quite understand her embarrassment somehow.
If you abandon her again. What was I supposed to do? She was eating someone's nature strip blade by blade.
That's true, Mum.
This dining room scene, we're actually out of the studio now and back into a location because of its connection with the backyard.
Them to strangle the slimy little snitch. You see that? I made a special mark on there, and look, some's missing. You thieving piece of scum!
Well, Joy, let your sister go and wait your bloody turn. I haven't finished with her.
No, Mum, don't go.
So it doesn't matter what Erica does, she always seems to do the wrong thing.
You're dead.
I love the homie here. He's one of the guys from the lighting department.
You guys home? Didn't hear you come in.
Brother Harley's a great bit of casting too. He's so unlike the character he plays.
There was no chance.
Yeah, very gentle, quiet man.
Yeah.
Now, this is fairly long sequence in the classroom. As you can see, Miss Belmont has already influenced the class by making sure that everyone's sitting in the right spot, all the boys on the left, all the girls on the right. Everything's very neat. She's taken over. And it also shows
Miss Belmont had crushed us like
that
I liked her.
Erica's really the star of the class.
James Adams.
She's the only one who's
What can I say? About half a page.
done the assignment well.
Dramatically.
You also, I think, get to see the different personalities of each kid in the class, which were all kind of worked out by the individual kids themselves.
Tom Barrow. On the net, are we, Tom?
Tom Burrows is a bit of a nerd.
Sophie.
I think all the kids think that Yuck is the biggest nerd of the lot because she seems to do all her work much better than they can.
For Muzzer.
Muzzer was a great character.
Land in the national flag, while fascinating to you, does not necessarily constitute in-depth research, does it? As usual, Erica's assignment.
So this is kind of Erica's moment, really, being sort of
Made some sense.
blessed and praised by Miss Belmont.
It got the right country. Bravo.
You heard her. I'm exceptional. Which, of course, I knew, but never tired of hearing. I put on...
It was a bit of a challenge to figure out what to do with Alison Ashley's entry into the classroom. We wanted to try and isolate her visually somehow so that she kind of didn't fit at all, and giving her the golden glow seemed to be the way to do it.
Alison Ashley.
Which was fairly difficult because of the way we shot the scene. It was fairly free form, so that you couldn't really specifically light her. The only thing that you could do was light down the aisle between the kids and have her walk through that.
Next to Erica.
That kind of works. And
I love all the individual reactions of these kids
Great.
to Delta walking past. Especially the girls.
They obviously hate her.
Alison Ashley was the most exquisite thing.
It's a bit like
It was like
she's falling in love with her.
everything around her. Suddenly, I was no longer
Well, she
alone.
doesn't quite know what she's in for
I
yet.
wanted to let her know that there was at least one
The other thing we tried to do was shoot Alison against the backlit graffiti window, which kind of gives her a different feel too. It's far more colourful than any of the backgrounds for the other kids in the class.
Natural history books. Henry at the start of the third
This is really where Erica is just totally fascinated by this creature that's sitting so close to her.
But I'm allergic to methylated spirits, so I need
And this creature who doesn't say a word to her, but wonders who this creep is, sort of thing.
She's got a tattoo and she's
This creep running off at the mouth.
the only thing that'd be good for us to make sure that you...
So, why did Henry break with Rome and establish the Church of England?
It seems all the other kids in the class hate her before she's said anything, but she really caps it off by answering this question, I'm sure.
Well, she's like the kid from the other side of town, you know, from the rich part of town. She's in the wrong territory, really.
Not only is she good looking, but she knows the answers to the questions.
Mum made me visit Hampton Court. Oh, whatever.
Class dismissed. Ladies first. Erica, I know I can rely on you to show Alison around.
Sure, Miss Belmont.
Yeah, I'll come too. After Erica gives you the freak show, I'll show you the good stuff.
This corridor was very difficult to light because we were at the mercy of the weather, again with clouds and sun and overcast and rain.
She's new here.
But we got lucky in the playground here, we had a bit of sun.
I put the fizz in physical education. You play any sport?
Yeah, a bit of basketball.
I think this is one of the first scenes we ever shot. Day one.
When they finally lift the ban and play other schools, we will rip through this district like a fart.
Miss Lattimore, art teacher. It's unnaturally calm. And this is our library. It's actually designed
Well, we
by
lost a bit here, didn't we?
now.
Just as they walk in, a big piece of library falls down in the foreground. But I think the scene was running too long, so we cut it out.
And here's Mr. Chill. In the book, it was Mrs. Chill was the librarian, but Bill played the role so well, or auditioned so well, that we thought, why couldn't it be a male librarian? Also, I think there was so many female teachers around. I don't know.
Yeah, this character could have ended up being very similar to Mrs. Orlando.
That's true.
No, I know that Romeo and Juliet is way overdue, but I'm studying the leading role for...
This is another big lighting job, the library. I think we had less than an afternoon in here, because I think as soon as we finished this, we went and shot the staff room.
Alison hasn't got time at the moment, Mr. Chill, because I'm showing her around.
Starts to get trips over the track.
Tripping over. She tripped over her own feet, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I should get to know the role since there aren't very many.
Back in this corridor again.
Hi, Mrs. Adams. Can I have a lunch?
This is a difficult scene to light, basically because of the contrast between the interior of the canteen and their faces looking into it and the background, which was bald, front-lit sun. And I think we put a large net up behind them
You're kidding, right? What do you eat then?
to try and reduce the exposure on the background,
Vegetables,
which hopefully you don't notice.
Treat our bodies with respect, okay? We live on healthy, natural stuff, right?
Erica Yerk and 1 curry pie with sauce, 1 pineapple donut.
They're always making mistakes with the lunch orders here.
And now, I've saved the best to last. It's just a little taste of paradise in this chaos.
I think when we shot this one, we knew we weren't going to shoot this sick bay.
What do you mean, the interior?
Yeah, the interior of it.
You don't like this?
I said, we have to shoot it so we don't see inside.
But we do.
And what happens? We see inside.
Of course we do.
Alison didn't appreciate the value of sickbay. Maybe Alison Ashley wasn't all I'd given her credit for. Well, I've shown you around, so I'll just leave you to your healthy lunch.
That seems to be the point where she realises that she's not going to be her first best friend.
Yeah. It's like a slap in the face to say that you don't like the sick bay.
Waterproof band-aids always have a soothing effect.
Now this shot down the hallway is interesting because it's all one big shot intercut with other things, and it's basically just a, what is it, a slow zoom back?
Yeah, we did it as one continuous shot in slow motion, and it was a continuous zoom back.
Yeah.
We were going to track back, but it was actually quicker to do it. You'd do it with a zoom.
Sort of looked better too. Then you have all the teachers just coming in, and it was great fun doing it, actually. It was a bit of choreography of all those teachers as they come in from either side of her.
I think that lunch montage was actually shot inside somewhere, wasn't it?
I think it was shot later in the studio.
Yeah.
Deborah is actually quite a good basketball player, but probably not quite as good as this. She's actually standing on a crane to get this shot.
Yeah, she's on the camera crane. Yeah, sometimes the fantasies weren't always good.
So here's a scene that introduces Lenny, played by Richard Carter. Richard's a wonderful actor. He thinks very, very deeply about his roles. And in fact, in this one, he took out his false teeth so that...
one tooth missing was a good look.
The Lenny character had this huge gap in his teeth.
There was a lot of discussion about that at the time, I remember, and I thought, well, he's a truckie. I'm sure a truckie would spend money on his truck rather than on his tooth.
Absolutely. But he did give the Lenny character a wonderful sort of gentle quality, and really, Lenny, dearly loves Erica. And
I think that warmth comes across in his character. I think we tried to make this whole dinner scene feel very warm and cosy, like like it's in a family. Despite what you're hearing from Erica about, everybody sitting around the table's an idiot. The inside the fridge.
The inside of the fridge, yeah. How do we manage this, Steve?
Well, we had to take the back out of it. And I think this was the very last shot of the film.
It was indeed the final shot of the film.
Charming. I mean, there's still cat food in there. Didn't Norm die a year ago?
Norm's dead?
Of course not, love. He's still at cat boarding school.
Cat school?
Yeah, the challenge was to try and make it look messy,
but warm at the same time. I remember having a lot of discussion about that. Yeah, just having this.
There's a bit of a fine line, I think, to do that.
So you had to really feel the warmth of this family, but at the same time understand why Erica hated it there and felt alienated by it. Yeah. This was one of the hardest scenes, very hard scene to do actually for Saskia, because we auditioned this scene where she's talking to the mirror.
What? You can pet me if you'd like.
Facey little twerp, you are not a horse.
Yeah? Well, you're not Juliet.
What I really needed was a good cry. And a mirror to make sure it looked convincing.
Where she has to cry and she has to...
Yeah, it is a difficult one because she's talking about acting crying, but she's really crying.
And also you have to kind of sympathise with it and laugh at it at the same time.
Yeah.
Then the actress in me told me this was a take, so I gave it my all.
26 take.
And off into fantasy again. It's a bit of a 20s fantasy, this one.
All up with something powerful.
In a beautiful location. But again, we tried to give it a totally different lighting look to the rest of the film.
No, I don't.
And back to her, I really love this shot. It's lit with one desk lamp.
Wish I was Alison, actually.
I like the dissolve too. Delta.
Two friends you'd like to share a cabin with at the camp. No talking about your choices. The permission form.
The Marja character really cracks me up. She steals every scene she's in.
Permission form must be signed by a parent and returned before.
Yeah, Katie's a great actress. She's actually probably the oldest of the lot there. I was a bit concerned that she looked a bit older than everyone else, but she doesn't. Once she's in the martial art costume and playing martial art, she looks...
Oh, I believe she's the same age as the other kids. It's one of the, there's always one kid in a classroom that looks older than everybody else. Or not older, but, I don't know, it looks like they've come from a different era. And Marja feels like that to me. She looks like she's out of the 40s or something.
I love this part of the school. I remember when I first saw this location, I saw this wall.
Which was painted blue, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
and of course...
our art director added to it.
Added all the graffiti, but I love this, just that blue wall. And kind of isolating her there.
And I think we were worried at first that the wardrobe made Alison blend into the wall, but I think it actually works that she's wearing something that's the same colour as the wall.
This was I think this was actually our first scene.
Between these two, yes,
between these two. So they were both a bit nervous. It was actually a much longer scene. And I remember Erica, Saskia had to eat a sandwich filled with baked beans or something.
That's right, and then chew into a very ripe pear.
Yeah. And finally, once you cut the scene together, all that's out now.
It's gone.
Which was really difficult sort of continuity, but it's no longer there.
Oh, yeah, it added a degree of difficulty that wasn't necessary.
What does that mean? You're calling my mum a liar? No,
It's pretty difficult to talk and eat at the same time without looking like a pig.
Unless I want a hot TV.
But, the whole point of it there was that Alison's meal was this dainty sort of almost Japanese thing, and Erica's was this horrible sandwich.
You just think you're better than us because you live up on Snob Hill.
No, I don't. All I meant to say
No,
was
yes,
that
I know what you meant to say, Alison, Ashley, and you know what? I don't have to listen to it.
At times like this, I needed comfort.
Back to the sick bay. There were a lot of scenes in this sick bay.
Well, it is her
haven.
Little haven, yeah.
Except when Mrs. Orlando's in there.
Duodenum.
Mrs. Orlando was a lousy sick bay attendant.
This is one of my favourite shots, actually, just the truck,
The truck
sitting
on the
next
house.
to that tiny little house.
Again, the weather was against us. We shot that on a sunny day, and we actually did a bit of sky replacement on this scene as well to try and make it look a bit
Well,
more
this
dull and
seems
overcast.
extraordinary. I mean, we were shooting till night time,
Yeah, 10
and you
o'clock
had
at
to
night, I
make
think.
it look. So a lot of this was actually shot
at night,
after the sun had set, and Steve had to make it look like it was the middle of the day.
Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. We looked at the length of the scene, looked at how many hours we had left to shoot, and thought, no, there's no way we're going to finish this in the time. So we actually tented the entire backyard. We had a large scrim reflector over the top and bounced
You
the
can already
lights
see how
down
dark
off
it's
that.
getting in that shot, in that wide shot.
But this one here, we actually had blue sky behind Lenny's head there, but we replaced it with a bit of overcast.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, well, I saw the film and she
And
goes...
2, I know
Yeah, it works, I think.
constructing a great performance. And 3, I was just about to cry and now you've ruined it.
And 4, here's Yuck's friend.
But I remember all the shots looking back towards the house like this one. We had to shoot that in real daylight because we didn't have enough lights to actually light the entire backyard right back to the house. It was quite a unique little backyard, that one. Surrounded by sheds and all sorts of weird machinery and things in there. Just like you'd expect a truckie to have.
She lived in the Heights.
I wonder if Mum's first husband was a truckie.
See this way she pulls that thing off the...
It's Valjoy's thong.
Yeah, but that made Richard Carter giggle. He got the giggles. So when you're watching this take...
This joke
yes,
wasn't what he was laughing
those
at.
giggles are real giggles. He just couldn't stop himself from laughing.
But he was laughing about the thong being pulled off
he was
the line.
laughing at what Saskia had done because she hadn't done that before in the previous take. So he just loses it.
He keeps cracking up for the whole
He just
time.
can't stop that. And this scene originally was shot as a sort of real-time sequence, right?
Yeah.
And then in the edit room, we decided that it needed to be hyped up a lot more, so we shot it as a kind of montage.
I think it works
cut
quite
it as
well as a montage. I think it works quite well, especially when you keep cutting back to Erica looking mortified.
Yeah, and that was a complete accident when everyone fell over. That was the first time that...
the guy had sat on the hammock.
The guy had sat on the hammock and it just fell over.
He just leaned back and off they went.
Alison, Ashley's got to go now. Let's go into my room.
This was quite a difficult scene, I think. There's a very long dialogue scene between the pair of them.
Lenny's not my dad. He's just his truck driving mum. I mean, like, you know.
And we're in the studio here, but it was a normal-sized room, so we didn't have a lot of room to work.
Racehorses.
And we didn't really want to float the walls out, so...
It's also the first time these two girls are alone together.
Well, it just explains your little sister. Nothing explains my little sister.
Yeah, I think if I was Alison, I would have given up on Yuck a long time ago. She's just so negative.
But then they start playing... I think it's where Alison gets kind of in tune with Erica.
She starts to understand
and
her.
starts to understand what kind of person she is, and kind of likes the idea of playing these little games. And
It's not like having a dead father, though, is
I'm
it?
not sure if Erica quite sees that at this stage. Do you know what I mean? I think Erica also can't quite see the potential that this person is a great friend.
Yeah. I think she's too busy spinning yarns to actually stop and realise that...
But Alison is really trying to be a friend here and kind of cottons on to what she's up to.
Yeah.
Her little games.
It's like Erica goes into top gear here, spinning a yarn. So much so that she goes into yet another fantasy, which we shot after the main shoot.
Yeah, so this was shot in Sydney too, because there aren't really many beaches like this in Melbourne, or close to Melbourne anyway.
Not with headlands and crashing surf.
The score here is actually a beautiful piece too. Cesare, the composer, and performed by the Melbourne Philharmonic. We wanted a very dramatic, overwhelming piece. Very cinematic piece.
Yes, I think all these.
It suddenly drops.
She's not really over it yet.
But doesn't she have a boyfriend? Pardon? The boyfriend with the stud farm.
We had to pick up a shot for this scene.
You know, people deal with their grief in different ways. Look, can I trust you?
Of Saskia, and we couldn't get Delta for the scene, could we?
Yeah, because we shot it much later. It's this shot coming up, actually, the closer shot on Saskia was shot much later.
He's researching the use of astral travel for essence.
Yeah, I think we did it in a little tiny studio with one flat behind her, and trying to match the lighting was very difficult.
Your mother's not your mother.
No, my mother's my mother, my brother.
And trying to get the performance too. I mean, Saskia was brilliant at it, but she's not even talking to Delta in this bit.
She was talking to our continuity girl.
Out the front isn't his.
Oh.
But I think she did a good job.
Yeah, no, that's his. Yeah, no, he just drives it for authenticity.
So he's a method spy.
Good.
Got it. Right.
About my family, I just...
It's okay.
His secret's safe with me.
I know.
The whole of Baringa Heights, which is where Alison lives, we tried to treat a little differently and make it look golden, and we used a bit of diffusion on this, unlike the rest of the film. And I think it looks like the idyllic world that Yuck would love to live in.
I also like the simplicity of this scene. You know, a lot of things are happening here where she gets kind of betrayed in a way, but it's not really Alison's fault. She sort of gets dragged away, but it's just like the way it's done. It's very simple.
Yeah, I think making it work in 2 shots is economic, but it also works for the scene.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Alison. Please be
And this is really the beginning of their kind of falling out, and Erica will just not forgive her, even though Alison's trying her best to regain the friendship. It was only briefly there.
The concept behind this scene was really difficult to work out whether she picked it up and intentionally kept it and not handed it in, or there's a lot of discussion about that at the time, wasn't there?
Big workshop.
Yeah.
Pocket money on the races, and you encourage her.
The races. The horse sister had a use as she could pick a winner. Abigail was great.
Yeah, she's a lovely little actress. She was pretty hard to cast that when you're casting kids that age. She was very confident, and she would always be thinking during the scene, you know, like reacting off people, not just waiting for her lines, and she was fantastic.
Yeah, I remember in the dinner scene, she, when Erica wasn't going to get her frozen Bavarian cream cheesecake, I remember Abigail saying, "Can I have hers, Mummy?" And that was a totally ad-lib line. I think we had to do a bit of a modification on the house to actually fit that truck next to it, didn't we?
Maybe take part of the garage down or something.
It can be lonely when you're exceptional. Lonely and boring. Except when you have someone...
It's interesting when you're doing scenes that have a lot of voiceover in it. Kind of working out how long these shots should be, you know, we track in and we have to time it as we're going.
Even with continuity reading the voiceover out, you still don't know that the timing's going to be right.
Yeah, and also sometimes we rewrite the voiceover later.
Yeah, it certainly makes the timing difficult.
I was one step ahead of her. She deliberately let her form fall, hoping I'd come along and pick it up. She knew I couldn't resist. I'm not made of stone.
The Ashley house.
Here's another interesting sequence. I like the way it's shot here too, where you have this long track back and then you have another track into the door. It's all these moves. A bit like a pop clip.
Yeah, the weather didn't help us there either. I think we had sun, rain, overcast, everything. Difficult to light in terms of having the interior and the exterior reading at the right levels too. And another long sequence, which entailed us going till 10 o'clock at night again. But all the scenes with Erica outside the window here was at least under a covered carport, which had a opalescent roof covering on it, so we actually ended up lighting this and shooting at 10 o'clock at night when it was supposed to be daytime.
Up your driveway when this wheelie bin just shot out in front of me, which was unsecured.
Were you spying?
I think some of it we shot was still during the day, but the overcast was so heavy we didn't have enough light.
No, the only reason I came was to give you your stupid form, which you dropped at school.
Alison, what on earth is going on out there? Nothing.
You never get to actually meet the mum, do you? You just hear her.
She's a voice in the distance.
She's a voice in the distance, yeah.
I think our continuity girl Jane read the lines on set, and I actually liked her voice, but it didn't make it to the final cut.
What I don't know is why I bother. Here.
Oh, my baby, don't leave me. What if you get lost in the wilderness?
Another night scene. Our production designer Ralph Moser redesigned this kitchen. I think the people that live in the house were quite happy with what he did. He knocked a wall out and put a servery bench in there and opened the whole thing up so that you had a clear sight line from the kitchen through to the dining room, and it made it easier to stage the scenes in here. I particularly like this scene. It's mother's love. The truck was another challenge.
Yeah. How do you shoot a scene inside a truck?
Well, it was very difficult. Trying to do it on the move with that particular truck would have been almost impossible. The owner of the truck didn't want us to rig cameras on it, so we ended up moving the truck into the studio and shooting it simulated travel inside. But that didn't worry me much because the most important thing about this scene is the relationship between these two.
Yeah, well, it's a very important scene for these two, and I think Richard was very concerned about it. We did a number of takes before I think we got it right. And also, just in the editing of it, it took a while to get it right.
And so I was just wondering how you'd feel about...
In fact, some of the dialogue was reordered, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Swap
Also,
around.
Richard tends to kind of improvise a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good too, but you have to kind of sort that out in the editing.
I think it's about time you stop pretending, young lady, about your father.
Well, one of the things I did want to do with the sim trav is keep it very subtle. I think too much movement and lights flashing and things tends to distract from the drama of the dialogue and the relationship between the characters.
He's not coming back. And your mum doesn't want him back. And he told your mum he doesn't want her and he doesn't want you. Oh, well.
My name is Erica. Erica, get it? And you're
Richard found it very difficult to say he didn't want you. Just as a person, he gets very sensitive about things, and I found it very hard to say that.
I think it's a very moving scene. It really makes you feel for Lenny.
Yeah, and we wanted to continue the feel of that scene through this scene here, where you see all the families around her, and she's all on her own, and everyone else is relating to their mums and dads in the background. A sense of strong family bonds and people saying goodbye to each other, and she's got no one. And then, of course, we had to get back to comedy straight away. So in comes Craig, leaps into this scene.
Now, I'd like you all to line up nice and
Very brave man, Craig. I mean, in this scene where these kids trample him, they actually do trample him.
They really did trample him, yeah. Well, Eugene's accuracy with the foot was pretty good there.
And this interior of the bus too was shot inside a studio.
Yeah, we decided that we didn't have time to actually shoot it in the schoolyard, and we'd lost the location. So rather than try and find a location that was similar, we decided that given that you were shooting inside the bus, what you'd see outside would be pretty minimal anyway. So we ended up just creating scrims right around the outside of the bus and just burning out the windows so you couldn't see what was outside. And I think that's not a bad way to go, because if you're looking at the outside, you've lost the plot.
I love what Jean did here actually too, was getting the kids to repeat after her, which actually wasn't scripted. It actually took the kids by surprise.
But they did it.
Yeah. I also love what the kids are doing in the background. You see that kid hitting mother.
Surrounded by many excellent places.
And then right in the background you got that kid chewing gum and...
Yeah, there's lots of great background action going on. And then we had to show a cutaway of Alison walking up the schoolyard, which we also shot at a much later date. And never got sun for.
Okay, ready to leave now.
Buzzy Bob.
So hold on, and I'm just in job.
And these scenes were shot much later too.
Yeah, after the main shoot back in Melbourne again, where we figured we needed a bit of a transition between the school and the camp. Stunt bums there. And getting the bus to break down seemed like an easy thing at the time, but took a bit of fine-tuning with the special effects department.
What, creating all that smoke?
Yeah. And the cutaways of Buzzy Bob inside the bus were actually done at a different time to the wide shots of the bus. Same day, but different time, and Buzzy's reactions were cut in quite well.
Buzzy Bob, how much longer will it take?
Well, I will try and finish as soon as possible.
Well, I hope so.
On this day, we didn't have Craig, because Craig was very busy at that time, so he couldn't actually turn up. So whenever you see Mr. Kennard, it's not actually him.
That's right. Somebody wearing his wardrobe.
So there's someone in the back there, and all you see is his legs.
Yeah.
And over here you see someone with a mask on.
Tied to the pole.
Tied to the pole.
With Craig's voiceover.
Yeah.
I decided to spend the time casting my Romeo, but things looked bleak. They were all such repulsive options.
And also this shot of Delta was shot completely out of sequence.
And in fact at night.
Yeah. This shot of Delta in the window.
I think it cuts in okay, given that we shot at a totally different time and 100% lit. We shot it at the camp, actually.
Yeah, because we lost Delta after a while.
And trying to establish the camp was difficult too, because there was kind of nowhere you could get to where you could show a wide shot of it as a camp.
It was also quite a difficult location to find, really. We spent quite a bit of time looking for it, and I think the thing that works for this is that it has a kind of timeless quality to it, which, you know, a lot of the camps nowadays are modern or, you know, built out of brick, but this had those old wooden cabins, and it certainly had an atmosphere to it that helped us.
It's also in a very beautiful location. It was surrounded by eucalypt forest, but strangely enough, the trees around the cabins were all conifers.
Yeah, it was a beautiful forest around there.
Right. You will stand at attention.
But also, it's the rest of the film takes place here, so it's another part of the storytelling, which is really where the truth of everything starts to come out. Things start to unravel. Erica gets to learn much more about herself and about Alison, and sort of comes to her own.
Yeah, I think
and she's also forced to share a cabin with Alison.
Yeah, it really has to come to a head, and I think the fact that, you know, she's not at home anymore is a part of that. So the camp really had to be a character in a sense.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite scenes. I love this. This interior, actually, this is sometimes the real interior of the hall, and sometimes a complete replica that Ralph had built in the studio because we didn't have time to shoot all of it. But it's...
This scene was done at the real camp, and we really wanted to try and make it look almost like a concentration camp, so it's not...
There's something very militaristic about it, isn't there?
It's not
the
very
girls
army.
on one side and the boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silence, please.
And I remember when we shot this scene, when Belmont sits down, when we were rehearsing this scene, she sat down and she sat directly behind Lattimore and completely masked herself. And we thought, I remember you saying, should we be doing that? And I said, no, let's just see what she does. So we just let it happen. And Jean came up with these amazing things behind her because we purposely masked her.
All of a sudden, Lattimore's got 4 arms.
Yeah.
Tradition.
I love these little looks that
Barry does.
I've learned every line in Romeo and Juliet. It's a classic.
Jean's doing that line with a large lump of sausage in her mouth.
We were also terribly nervous about the salad bowl over Barry's head because we knew to get it done again for another take we'd have to clean him up. But this was just perfect, especially the bit on his nose.
Yeah.
The kids were wonderful, yeah.
You so want me.
It's a great line. It's the ultimate humiliation.
There's a lot of other things happening here too. One of the boys, or two of the boys, play a gag on Marjart,
yeah.
but it's sort of slightly off screen.
It's
right
almost
at the end
lost right here.
She pours all the salt down.
I wanted out. I considered faking a gallstone attack, but I couldn't remember which side my gallbladder was on.
And back in the cabin.
Chocolate?
Here we are back on. This is on a set.
Yeah, we're back in the studio. We decided we'd do everything at the camp that we could, but the cabins were so small we couldn't really shoot in them. So it was better to build a set where we could float walls and get over the top of because they had low ceilings as well. So to get any high shots or anything, we're much better off in the studio.
All the parents are coming. Mum won't. Yes, well, not everything's just about you.
So this scene's really where Alison is again trying to make contact with Erica, but she just keeps saying the wrong things. You know, that faking it was a good thing. She was doing it just to impress Erica. But Erica can't see that. Again, another missed opportunity. This Kennard, this is not a missed opportunity, actually. He's made the most of it.
He has.
Kennard.
He actually squirted himself in the eye with a breath freshener. And he really did hurt himself.
Mum, wake up, it's an
This was an interesting scene.
What is it?
This was a very difficult scene to light. Trying to do a very low-key scene in a room that had very bright white walls was really difficult.
And
lighting-wise.
I wanted the camera to keep moving.
So by the time we put the track and the dolly in there wasn't much room for the lights.
No, it's nothing like that. It's...
Or anybody else to stand, for that matter.
Go to sleep, Irk. And call it a decent hour next time. You know I hate answering the phone at night. It's usually the police about Valjoy.
I mean, this is where Barry sort of very nervously tries to impress Erica. And
it's a little like a dance, isn't it?
I wanted it to be a bit like a dance, and that's why we kept the cameras moving and the actors kind of moving around each other.
Hacked up those kids.
And also Cesare's soundtrack is kind of similar to a little tango, really.
Always return to the scene of the crime.
Well, you should know.
They're sort of testing each other out, and
Who are you ringing? Your mum?
yeah, it is a dance.
That was my boyfriend, Dwayne.
And I remember it took, I was really looking forward to the scene because I wanted the two actors to kind of play with it a bit and try different things. And so we used quite a few different takes, and they could kind of experiment with it.
Well, you do go that extra mile to annoy, don't you, Barry?
But it's one of those scenes, it's about kind of teenage...
What are you doing now?
The first sort of blossomings of teenage sexuality where they're starting to feel these things for each other that they're feeling kind of a little awkward with, but are getting kind of drawn to each other.
Do you want to hang around? Got a lighter.
And I think Alex was one of the only actors who auditioned for this part who kind of got that kind of sexuality.
Cigarettes. And Erica, be gone by the
Was it this scene you used for his audition?
Yeah.
That's what I remember you saying that.
And I think all the time he was always in love with Erica but couldn't express it, you know. So he expressed it in very strange ways. What were you going to say?
Only that you realised his ability to improvise in that audition too. He wasn't thrown by the dialogue changing or anything else.
No, he just kept with the sort of intention of the scene.
Here we are in that beautiful eucalypt forest.
Holly Meyer plays Miss Lattimore, who's a kind of, she's an old hippie really, trying to get these city kids into the vibe, so to speak. But
until our creative juices start flowing.
she was quite difficult to cast, but something about Holly that is a bit out there anyway.
You get that feeling from her, even when she's not playing Miss Lattimore.
Yes, exactly. She half the time she's a bit spaced out too, just in, the way she sees things.
Yeah.
Ugly cousin. And they make him sleep under the stairs. Until one day. Ooh. Ooh.
Next.
And casting these two girls here, whom we call the twins, it was quite interesting because we, when you look at the script, it's sort of like they're meant to be like the blonde bimbos of the class. But we came across this thing called crunchies, who are dark outside but blonde inside. And these were perfect, Leah and Nusha.
They were a fabulous double act.
Yeah, it's a beautiful double act. And when I looked at these scenes with them, I decided that a lot of the dialogue was actually written for Nusha's part, but I decided to share it so that it was complete twins. So they actually spoke for each other half the time and were totally in sync.
Anything. What about Yuck? I mean, we know she's got a great imagination.
Are you calling me a liar, Alison Ashley?
Erica, relax.
I often wonder about this shot where we're tracking into Erica here.
Of course I do.
Because I find
Ashley had thrown down the gauntlet.
the boy on the left just a little distracting.
It's the glasses over the ears.
Just sort of wonder why I put him there.
She's really talented.
And this shot was also shot in another location too, wasn't it? We had to move it somewhere. This shot on her wasn't actually shot in that circle.
Neither was the shot of the crunchies.
Right.
We shot it the following morning in a different spot.
Version of Cinderella again?
No, only in the sense that
Those things happen because you're, running out of time and you have to move shots till later on.
Yeah, one of the difficult things about shooting this sequence was trying to keep everything backlit again.
Yeah.
It was a very small window of light opportunity down there, and we had to supplement the lighting a lot to try and make it look consistent, especially when you're shooting around a circle.
Yes.
You're shooting in 360 degrees, so the only way for it to cut together well is to backlight everything.
One of the main themes.
It was also very, very cold up there, and in this scene, poor Craig has to fall in the water. We didn't use any stuntmen here.
The freezing water.
Yes, and he, a very brave man, or a very stupid man, but he had to do 2 takes.
Yeah, it wasn't a one-take wonder. I think we might have done 3 takes of it, actually.
Yeah.
the 2 things I knew best: pain and betrayal. And we're better to
The idea here too was to keep all this kind of action in the background of Erica as she's coming up with her ideas and kind of unconsciously getting inspired by what's around her.
rebellious young doctor who lived life on the edge. The 2 ugly Ward sisters who thought they were beautiful, and every hospital needed a coma victim. But the story would focus.
And of course, Craig doing something quite dangerous and risky, but it was kind of scary at the time. Those flames were pretty high.
To the suffering of others.
The thing is not to panic in a situation like this. You just.
I think he was panicking, actually.
Craig does like to do his own stunts.
Life is full of obstacles. Face one today. Let's go. It's what we call teamwork.
I found that coming up with ideas for characters was easy, but I still didn't have a
This is a very important moment in their relationship, I think.
Yeah, well, Alison thinks she's reaching out for her and it's not happening at all.
Nurse Ella.
So even though Erica's written this play, she's actually more interested in the fact that she sees herself as the star actress of the play. Sort of, again, missing the point. But that's her fantasy, and that's what she believes she is, a great actress rather than a great writer.
Who was quickly taken advantage of by the 2 evil, ugly Ward sisters, who is, of course, played by Crystal and Nicole.
It's also the first time that she's sort of in charge of everything, This is her thing. She's got the whole class together and she's the director.
Okay, well,
I guess that's all right. Yeah.
I love the fact that the twins don't mind being ugly on the inside.
So this is a big moment for her where she's now going to perform for the first time in front of her classmates. And it just doesn't happen.
At first, I thought it was just a dramatic pause, my natural actress instincts milking the expectation.
This was quite a hard scene to do too. I mean, not to shoot in particular, but just to kind of work out the timing of her freezing and what's going on in her head. It was actually quite a workshop cutting this sequence together. Went through a number of drafts before we got there.
Yeah, it's a very difficult moment to make work, I think.
They were obviously trying to put me on.
I think Saskia found this quite challenging too. To someone who's a born actress as she is, you know, to suddenly have to act stage fright is not so easy.
Well, I mean, it's something that I think all actresses suffer. Stage fright or that incredibly nervous thing. I think they can all identify with it at least.
You don't have to move. Okay, let's try it again.
Also in the book, it was originally, she had written 2 plays. And I think when we were working out the script, it was quite difficult to kind of put that in. So we had to drop it down to 1 play. And which would focus it a whole lot more, so it was just the one thing we were dealing with. But also this sequence is very long, you know, you've got her rehearsing it twice, I think, or she's quoting from it, and then they actually get to perform it.
We had a great degree of difficulty the day we shot this. I remember it was torrential rain outside, and we had a lot of trouble with the power supply dropping out all the time, and it just made it so hard to finish the scene. Which was a difficult scene anyway to shoot, but it may have been that experience that decided us that the final play sequence should be shot not at the location. I think we ran out of location anyway at that point. But the crew did a fantastic job this day just to keep everything up and running. Even though we had interruptions, the grips and electrics managed to keep the thing going, and we finished shooting the scene on time.
That home is a place.
This is a scene where Alison sort of proves herself to be the actress, and I thought the way to do this was to play it very intimately rather than act there like on a stage. I think it kind of worked.
It was obvious she'd stooped to any lengths to upstage me.
So the girls' washroom is a tiny little set
another
again.
Studio set, because the real bathroom was so small we couldn't shoot in it. But this is a not very much enlarged replica of it.
Still small.
Still small. But it worked. I think it was a fairly intimate space, and Ralph, our production designer, managed to put some mirrors in the right spots to be able to make the space a little more usable.
And this is Erica again being kind of seeing that she's the outsider again, that everyone still thinks she's ugly and doesn't belong. It's quite sad, really.
Yeah, a difficult mix of pathos or high drama and comedy, especially when she...
Yeah, I mean, that's what the film's like, isn't it? It's got that kind of slapstick humour and then comedy and then this kind of very...
Well, she's genuinely upset here, but then it segues into Barry being sent to the woodshed again.
I was a little worried about this when she flings her against him against the wall, and it's so violent, but it's kind of funny.
He had a bit of stunt coaching for that one to make it look like he hit his head.
So Erica very much feeling on the outer now and wanting to sort of again become Alison Ashley, I guess. And I remember Saskia was very, very excited and nervous about this scene here where they have the first kiss.
Alison's kimono was perfect. It looked
which
perfect.
We wonder whether it's a mistake or not. But I think Barry really did want to kiss Erica, but was too embarrassed.
Barry Hollis?
Yuck.
Yes, he has to pretend it's a mistake.
Yuck. Why are you wearing Alison Ashley's thing?
You thought I was Alison Ashley?
Would it make a difference?
Erica Yerkin and Barry Hollis, get back to your cabins now! Move it!
It's a beautiful soundtrack here too by Cesare. Very gentle. It's almost Japanese. It's got that kind of Japanese vibe in it too to go with the kimono.
Chaos would be reigning and they'd be begging me to take control again. Now it was time to show Alison Ashley who the real Nurse Ella was.
This is really Erica's last time to kind of prove herself, really, in front of everyone.
Margaret.
And at the same time, she's being besieged by everyone to, as actors, to sort of get their thing from her as a director, but she's more intent on taking Alison off her throne.
Hollings, he's a pyromaniac. What self-respecting pyromaniac throws himself into a fire to save someone else?
Look at the irony, Barry.
She's also slightly distracted by Barry.
It's not working for me.
What does Barry mean by do something special for me?
Yuck.
Yes.
This rope, it's just not doing it for me. His intestines. You promised sausages, remember?
Yes.
For the sake of the scene, please.
Yes, Tom, I'm on it, I swear.
Okay.
It's all right, okay?
Andre, who plays Tom's got a long history with Saskia, hasn't she?
Oh yeah, they played in some TV series together for a long time.
I mean, she is...
Wicked Science.
And who authorised you to start working on the costumes without me approving them?
There's a lot riding on Erica's character in this scene. She's got to prove herself in front of everyone now. And this is like the final confrontation. If this doesn't work, nothing will. So I think what she's done is kind of set herself up so high, she's bound to crash. She's so kind of furious with Alison that she doesn't realise that she's setting herself up for the big fall.
Between me and my destiny, because it was my destiny, not hers. It's time for some real acting.
It's funny, Andre didn't quite know what he was supposed to be doing there.
He was
he just did it. Anyway, the world stops again for Erica.
Back to when the earth, the sun, the stars all aligned.
And it's, yeah, she just realises that she's just not cut out for it. Perfect scene for Delta here, because this is what she does.
In her natural element.
In her natural element, with all these people around her. She was so relaxed. She had a lot of fun doing this.
So this scene's not so much a fantasy as a nightmare.
It's the reality. She's almost in tears too. It's funny how Saskia always cries from the right eye. You notice that? The tears always appear from the right eye. Every scene she cries in. And it's up to Barry to kind of get her to face the facts, which is the sort of thing that you would do if you really like someone. This slap was so real.
And I think Barry
it almost dislocated his jaw.
Yes.
It almost killed him. That was a real slap.
Yeah. They didn't want to fake the slap, did they?
This was extraordinary. Trying to get that drip to hit her in the eye.
Not easy.
We had Mikey the props man on a ladder right above, just aiming it very carefully. And again in this scene you can see it's her right eye that's crying. The other thing that Saskia tends to do too, which a lot of actors do, is they get really... See the eye? Look at that eye crying. She kind of gets... When you get up into these scenes where you have to weep, I also get a bit nervous about it because there's a lot riding on it. The whole crew quietens down. They're all expecting this thing. Do a number of rehearsals. By the time they get to the take, it's almost dried up.
I found a lump on my skull and I think it's a tumour, so you have to come get me right now for biopsy.
Yeah, it is difficult, I think, for anybody to be able to do that on cue.
Although Saskia's pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, she was very good.
2 days, thief. No one steals from me. You're here 2 days.
I really like the lighting at the camp here. This is actually the studio camp, not the real one. But I really like the lighting in this scene. It's all very low key and.
Well, originally we were going to shoot this scene on the location inside the kitchen where the phone is. Remember that?
That's right, yeah.
And
because we didn't have a kitchen in the studio.
So when we got to the studio, we hadn't built a kitchen, so we had to decide. All right, we had to rethink how to shoot this scene.
And in and out of the hall seemed to work. I think it's very successful.
I guess this is probably where Erica sort of starts to see that Alison's life is not quite as perfect as she imagined it to be. That she's a lonely child, that her mother doesn't have much to do with her. It's interesting, in real life, Delta's a very warm, sort of exuberant person. In this scene, she's very kind of strong and kind of ruthless in a way, the way she talks to Erica.
Yeah, she really puts it down for the first time.
It's like...
And it's so not like Delta.
No, it's great. She really cuts her down. Kind of very cold.
Well, she does a good job of the scene, I think. I love Katie's performance in this scene.
See, she can't speak.
She's got great looks, hasn't she?
She has.
Fantastic sort of goofy looks. Don't know why Jean had this sort of fixation with the banana, but she insisted that she carried a banana throughout.
Jean asked for that.
Throughout the scene.
Not only does she carry it, she eats it.
Yeah.
I guess it was her way of ignoring Erica's histrionics.
Oh, thank you, Alison. Make sure she gets plenty of fluids.
Katie's reactions are fantastic.
That'll teach you to lock tonsils with Barry Hollis. Thanks.
Now, of course, it's far too late for Erica to build bridges with Alison. She's decided she's had enough of this girl.
This next activity is all about faith, which means you just gotta go for it.
It's another brave move by Craig to get trampled by the kids again. And they really did trample her.
There's a shot we could have done in the studio, but I didn't want to. I think it helps having the trees reflecting in the window.
So I guess by now Erica has to do something about this and try and fix up this rift that these two have. I mean, because she now realises that this person could have been a good friend of hers, and she's misinterpreted a lot of stuff that's gone on between them. So now she's going to try and fix it. It's funny how when she's alone, Erica can act very well. Like she's acting Miss Belmont now. She can do it really well because she hasn't got an audience.
No
now.
audience, yeah.
Teacher. Yes, thank you, I'm fine, Mrs. Ash. Actually, no, I'm not.
It's very British, Miss Belmont, isn't it?
It's because I find your behaviour deplorable. These kids have put a lot of effort into this play, and you're not even going to bother to come out. Well, I must say, I'm disgusted.
Something terrible has happened to Mr. Kennard. I remember that in the original script there was this huge scene where the leap of faith, where he falls from some great height. But we decided not to use that because really it would have been the only scene that Erica wasn't involved in. This is another one of my favourite scenes. I love the way all three of them are doing really well. Like Delta's so annoyed with Erica that she won't take it anymore. She's very strong. I love the way they all talk over each other.
Yeah.
All right, Erica. I'm prepared to take you at your word.
But also it's a terrible thing that's happening to Erica. She's now completely banned from the play, which is her dream. And at the same time, she wants to get Alison back. And Alison just won't see it.
Cuts her dead.
So I really like the way Delta does that. She's got these great looks at her too. She's very good at that. And here in this scene, Erica's desperately trying to get Alison's attention, but she's not looking at all.
She just hangs upside down from the rafters. Do you guys smell that?
It's another fun scene. I mean, we shot this part of it in the studio with all the smoke coming up, and then we cut outside for the real thing.
Back to the camp for the exterior.
The girls were very funny in this scene.
Yeah.
The way they put their brakes on and scream, and then I think a couple of them fell over, poor
Yeah,
things.
they did. I think they enjoyed it, actually. Well, I'm sure the boys enjoyed it.
And the girls. This shot coming up is a very complex shot, isn't it? The one that's coming up. It's where the camera's just tracking slowly over Erica in the bed. And the whole, you just explain what the complexities of the shot are.
Yeah, it was a combination of a track in and a crane up, and because the camera was physically so close to Erica, it was a very difficult focus pull to try and keep her in focus the whole move, and then throw through to Delta in the background. All at very low light levels too. And that one we certainly couldn't have done at the camp. We had to take the wall out of the set in the studio for that.
And also, Delta looks like an angel there, and it's the beginning of Erica. Well, Erica has now decided to drop everything. I mean, she's lost everything. She's lost the possibility of a friendship with Alison. She's lost the play. She's been banned from that, and all she can do now is run away from it all. This is another Craig bit of slapstick, which I thought was beautifully timed.
I really like this scene. I like the fact there's no voiceover and it's got a great song over it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful song. It's got sort of gets us in Erica's head, really. This was all shot in a small country town.
Yeah, near Kyneton.
And this side of the street.
We're supposed to have a hospital on the other side, but the hospital was around
another
the corner.
part of town.
Yeah. And it was freezing the morning we shot here. This leads us into another strange fantasy, her final fantasy.
The place where she would love to be is, of course, the hospital, undergoing an extreme emergency operation. This was all shot on the same set that the sick bay was.
It was the sick bay set.
It is the sick bay set, and it's all just
redressed and
yeah.
You've got to call in every person. Whoever did her wrong, or who doubted her, and let them openly weep at their folly. Family first, then teachers.
And it's even a bit warped as a fantasy scene.
Go to it, nurse.
I think Craig was in the makeup chair for something like 3 hours to get the whole drag thing happening.
I love the little Murray Minor.
I think we had to push it there, didn't we?
Yes, I think so. No, it just about went under its own steam.
I don't know. Maybe
Again, Erica thinks that Alison has betrayed her, but in fact Alison has kind of gone out of her way to get Erica to come back to this play and finish this play because she believes in it. And she also knows where she could possibly be, and that would be at a hospital, so that's how they found her.
Nearest thing to a sick bay you can find around the camp.
Go and get the props and then go straight to your cabin.
This scene here starts to show Paul Warren's fantastic costume design too. Some of what the kids are wearing is really outrageous. You don't get to see it until the play starts, but the fact that everything was manufactured out of junk, basically recycled materials, is great.
Yeah, there's a sort of slightly heightened quality to all the wardrobe, which I think helps because we're basing, all the characters are based on a very popular book. We also wanted to give it a kind of timeless quality, and I think that's what the costumes do. They don't belong to a particular time, and they're all very sort of character-driven.
This competition you think we have going.
Delta really sort of takes command in this scene and
But at least your family's turn.
tells Erica that she has to really think about what she's doing. It's very strong. I think Erica's quite struck by it. You can see that right eye tearing up again.
Again?
Well, it's good when they're affected by it, you know. When it means that the other actor's performance is quite strong, you know, when the other person gets affected. So this is the night of the play
I was a fraud.
where she, again, just wants to disappear.
Who would miss me anyway?
And the one person that she's been rejecting ever since he entered her life, she wants
to be her saviour.
Yes, exactly. And I think this is Richard's really his strongest scene. It's just perfect.
Hang on.
He really kind of subdued the whole thing, like pulled it right back to a very intimate, quiet scene. And he constantly kept talking to me about the fact that Erica is only 15 years old, and he was all, you know, because Saskia is 19, so he's always reminding himself that he's talking to a child, and that he has to be sensitive and gentle about everything. And I think in the script he actually says, in the script it's written that he says, you're a great bullshit artist, and he changed that to
bull artist, I
think, yeah, because he didn't want to say anything remotely offensive to her.
Yeah.
And still get her to see that she's kind of stuffed up here, and she has to go and face the music sort of thing.
But it's really nice the way he tries to convince her that she has to work out that she's stuffed up. He's not telling her. He's not telling her she has.
It's not like you're letting anybody down, right?
No, it's a wonderful performance.
Right.
Very gentle.
It's a shame, though. Would have loved to have seen
It's like
what
a
you would
big
come up with.
bear.
Yeah,
Big
he is
ugly
a
bear.
but he's a very lovable bear.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
What do you mean?
Erica, I've been a truck driver all my life, and I've travelled all over the country.
And doing intimate scenes like this on film in an exterior location with
a lot of distractions.
It's quite hard, isn't it? It's quite hard for these actors to kind of focus on each other. In this scene, Erica has finally sort of won the class over, I guess. They all appreciate her for what she is. She is the leader and designer of the play, and she's where she belongs, really. And she's given these kids a lot. She's given these kids something to work for and to feel good about.
At least I hadn't let them down. And everyone was so
And Tom's very happy with his sausages.
Absolutely. Wouldn't you?
Oh, yes.
And of course the only one left out is Alison Ashley.
She's hoping against hope her mum might turn up.
And it's around this time that it all sort of kind of makes sense to Erica that she's just completely missed the boat with Alison, completely misinterpreted just about everything she's done with her.
And I think she's suddenly realised that family's more important than she's ever given it credit for.
Yeah, so she's trying desperately to kind of regain her place in it again, like be part of this play and take it on again. But of course, she's been banned, so she has to leave again. And here she's watching her, Alison actually do what she was going to do, you know, be the lead actress and take the stage.
And she's, poor old thing, she's not even allowed to do that.
No.
Because Belmont sent her to her room.
She's got to go. But it kind of shifts for everyone too, you know, like here Barry kind of rejects
Belmont pinching his cigarettes.
And, you know, it's all changed. It's like a small revolution.
Yeah, for all of them.
Yeah.
Not just for Erica.
Yeah, they're all sort of being their own people now, being sort of independent, which is a bit like, you know, when you're a teenager and you're sort of growing up. And
yeah, there are defining moments like that, I think, when you suddenly feel more grown up.
And here, of course, she realises that Alison sort of made this book for her, and
she really does care.
Yeah, and there is a real friendship there. This scene was actually originally shot as a rehearsal scene, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was not a part of the play.
But it actually looks good as part of the play, because I felt that you actually needed to see more of the play.
Yeah.
Control yourself.
Alison had bound the script as a kind of gift to Erica. And Erica realises now that her real gift is the gift of being a writer, that she never really realised before. She was just blinded by the fact that she wanted to be a big star, a glamorous actress, but she's actually a writer.
It made me wonder what else I'd missed.
This montage is like all the lost moments that Erica missed, you know, when
she suddenly understands what they meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, in fact, Alison was always trying to be her friend. And these memories of her last contact with Alison sort of gives her the resolve, I guess, to go back into that theatre and take what is hers, what is rightfully hers, I guess, to see her play, to see what she's done.
Yeah, I think she's realised Belmont's punishment's a bit too severe.
I love Jean's reaction to all this, her weeping.
Yes.
And this is really the moment where Delta and Erica become friends, where they kind of seal their friendship. She's applauding Alison's performance in the play, and then Alison saves her from Belmont and invites her to the stage to take her applause.
Which is a very generous thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what real friends are for, and that's what it's all about, friendship.
I'm glad you cut that lens flare in, because I remember we shot this a couple of different ways, you know, with and without the flare, but I think the flare really helps.
It's also one of the lighting people there is one of the actors, I think, one of the kids.
Yeah, it is one of the kids operating the spot. They were made honorary members of the electrics department after the shoot.
Cesare had quite a problem trying to figure out the music here, because he didn't want to suggest that it was the end of the film, you know, like it builds up to this climax, but the music still had to have that sort of climactic feel because it was the end of the play. But it kind of settles here and
leaves it somewhere to go.
Yeah, it moves into another kind of, goes into another movement here for when she just here goes quiet again. It was actually quite difficult doing this entire scene. We had so many people inside this tiny little space, trying to fit all those kids onto that stage, which was a very small stage.
Yeah, it was not a lot of room with a hell of a lot of people.
And thank God we were in a studio, because if we were actually on the location, it would have been a whole lot harder to work that one out.
Oh, I'm really glad we were in a studio though, because it made lighting this and just moving around the set so much easier. And it was a lot more comfortable for the actors too.
We had every cast member on that set that day. We had 25 kids. We had all the main cast. Quite a thing, really. And of course, it's also part of the story thing too, that they're all come together for the end to resolve their different stories.
Look about the other night.
Yeah, it was a big day.
Next time, I'm sticking the tongue in.
That's probably my favourite line.
I like Barry's line there, yeah.
Which has all sorts of
possibilities.
Possibilities, yeah.
The thing I really like about this scene is for the first time, Erica's thinking about somebody other than herself.
Yeah. And that she's relating to her family as a family. That's a beautiful portrait of the family too, that shot.
Yeah. Harley with the fox.
Harley communicating with the fox. So this is Erica's final and very, real and true attempt to tell Alison that they're real friends and sort of invite her into her place, her home.
And connect with her, and she does it in a very gentle way too.
She didn't turn up for the same reason she never does.
Yeah, it's a difficult scene for both actors. I think in Delta's case, she had to... It's her character's explanation for what she's like and what her whole life has been. And she's really sort of putting a hand out for Erica to hold her hand, really.
Well, it's a real turning point for her character, because up till now she's held it all in.
Yeah.
But now she's finally admitting.
Yeah. She's talking about herself rather than being concerned about other people, which is what Erica was doing all the time beforehand, was being concerned about herself, not other people.
Yeah.
They kind of swapped personality, or not personalities, but their characters, they kind of swapped over.
But you know what my mum's like. I mean, I'll probably have to... Right.
And again, also a very difficult thing for Cesare's score, because he had to keep us engaged, kind of underline the kind of emotion of it, but not overwhelm it. So he had to really underscore it at certain points and then bring it up again. It was a pretty tough one for him.
I think he handled it incredibly well, actually, to maintain it right throughout that whole dialogue scene.
Yeah, it's a long, long cue.
Well, guess what? I'm not you.
So both girls have sort of gained their independence now, really, and sort of found themselves and become friends. Now she has to deal with
the biggest challenge.
The big challenge that her mum wants to marry Lenny.
We decided that we're going to get married.
It's great. Saskia holds this right to the very end. She just looks.
That's great. Congratulations.
But yeah, she's grown up now and she has to, she accepts all that. And she does love Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny does marry your mum. You could change your name.
Until Lenny reminds her that his name is actually...
Grub.
Grub, yeah.
Grub.
So, I guess we should shut up now.
Do you think it's the end of the film?
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
You can always tell when it's the end of the film because there's a freeze frame. There's always a freeze frame.
Oh, there it is. You're right. Goodbye.
Bye.
You changed my life.